Good morning, Glacier. Today is Monday, February 3rd. I'm Sam.
And I'm Wyatt.
And here's your GTV episode and daily announcements.
Here's a staff spotlight story on teacher Mr. Adamcyk. Mr. Adamcyk teaches in the English department and has taught English to 11 AP, debate workshop, outdoor block, and has also taught world literature, short stories, theater arts, and several other classes during his 14-year teaching career at GHS. He has also coached soccer, speech and debate, and worked in the Wolfpack Theater. Here's a segment we call Podcast with Adamcyk.
GTV, I'm here with Mr. Adamcyk, and he's going to tell us about his backstory. How did he move to Montana? What did he do before? And what is he doing now?
Hi. Okay. Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Adamcyk.
It's a long story. I'll try to keep it to the shorter version for you guys. But I've been in Montana for 20 years. But before then, I kind of had a whole life outside of what I do now and where I am now. And I was born and raised in a small town on Long Island in New York. Called Manhasset, right on the Long Island Sound, same town that F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote The Great Gatsby about. And grew up with a strong group of friends since second grade, went to high school together, college together, went to different colleges and all came back to New York to live and start our careers. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do after graduating college, so I just kind of took the route that would probably make me the most money, which in retrospect, I will tell you, based on real life experiences, is not the way to go. Spent the next 15 years after college kind of working and developing my own business and successfully doing so. I got into my mid-30s and decided that, wow, if I'm going to continue on in this way, that I can't complain, and my misery was probably just going to accelerate. I ended up taking this trip out to Montana, and I'm not sure why it was Montana. Per se, it just, this state had always had a kind of like a romantic, kind of mysterious feel to me, and I had never been out. Just kind of immersed myself in the nature, in the wilderness, and wrote prolifically and kept a journal. And this is a copy of my journal. I'll even show you a picture of me with hair back at the time. Yes, that was 20 years or so ago, and that's the fire tower I stayed in.
I've never seen this.
You never saw this?
No, you never showed me.
I did used to have hair at one point, until teachings made it all fall out. Sell my house and make a fresh start. And I didn't know what I was going to do or where I was going to go. But about a year and a half later, everything was taken care of, and I packed up a truck and headed out as the perfect Montana retreat. And so I decided to stay, and that was in 2005. And I rented a house in Whitefish for a year and kind of pulled a Henry David Thoreau, where I lived in the woods and just kind of hermited myself away for a good year, wanting to decide what I was going to do. Thought about becoming a chef, because I did go to culinary school back in New York City. And at the time, I wasn't able to make a go of it in New York, but I decided I can cook for maybe a living, and I enjoyed that. I did.
You did for a while.
I did.
Right?
I cooked for 3 years. A neighbor of mine in Whitefish actually owned Mama Blanca's, which then turned into Second Street Pizza, and which is back to Mama Blanca's now. Formed a relationship with him, worked for him for a few years, then became a chef at the Blue Canyon when that first opened at the Hilton, and I loved it. But it was long hours, and I had a friend who, growing up with, decided to take a route that zagged when we all zigged. Everybody kind of went into some sort of finance, all of my friends back in New York. And this one particular guy decided to become a teacher, which always shocked me, because that's not what everybody else was doing at the time. It certainly wasn't going to pay what we wanted to get paid back then. But the thing that struck me at the time...
What time was it? What year was it?
What was that? That was back in the 90s, back in the 1990s, right out of college. So I started my career in like finance and Wall Street and stuff in the early 90s, when everything was still kind of cooking and it was hot. And my friend, who also went to school and got a great degree, decided to work as a high school English teacher in the Bronx, of all places. And his name was Jonathan Levin, and he inspired me, I guess, to think about teaching like 25, 30 years later. And why that happened is because he was always happy. Like, here I am, I was doing this job that wasn't particularly hard to do, and it was making me a nice, comfortable living, but I hated it. I hated going into work. I couldn't wait to leave. I dreaded going back in. But John always kind of loved it. He had a smile on his face. I'd watch him kind of grade papers, and he'd give me like little anecdotes about the students in his class. And it just kind of floored me because, I mean, high school teacher in the Bronx, not very glamorous, certainly not making much of a living, yet he was extremely happy. And that always kind of stuck with me and resonated with me. And so when that time came and I was in Montana to decide what to do, that vision of John grading papers with a smile on the beach popped in my head, and I just figured, why not? And I gave it a shot, and I went back to school and got my teaching degree and started teaching at Glacier in 2010, and never looked back. And it's been, so far, a great experience. There's not a day that goes by that I'm not happy to come in. I don't no longer dread going into work. I'll take the summer vacations because you're going to give that to me. But, when the summer ends, I'm ready to usually go back to school and excited for the year ahead. So I told you that was going to be a long story short, but that wasn't so much of a long story short.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We appreciate your
Of course.
story. Everybody should hear it.
Here's what you need to know. The Student Council will host a Sadie Hawkins dance this Friday, February 7th from 9 to 11 in the Commons, open to all students. Come dressed in semi-formal attire with or without a date and prepare for a fun night with music and refreshments. The cost for entry is $6. Get tickets on GoFan now.
It's not too early to start thinking about Glacier Spring sports. Winter workouts are available for Wolfpack tennis, softball, and track and field. See Coach Monroe, Snipes, Fuller, or Coach May for more information.
We will announce GHS Student of the Week winners on Wednesday this semester. Staff, please consider nominating worthy students. The nomination box is nearly empty.
On Wednesday, February 5th, GHS will host Parent University for parents of the classes of 2026, 27, 28, and 29 at 6 p.m. in the GHS Performance Hall.
Best of luck to all the students competing in DECA in Missoula today and tomorrow.
Thanks for watching. Remember to respect yourself, respect others, and respect the building. Know better, do better, be better.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.